Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Transport Fever, and what you're looking at here is the train that was introduced in the last episode that runs rather splendidly from Zurich to Toulouse. I don't like it. It sounds odd. It's also costing me quite a bit of money, and it's not making a lot of profit. But there you go. These things happen, and it will build up over time. Particularly once I build out the connection to Madrid, which is the next step I have planned. Or rather, it's the next step I had planned. What's that doing? Turn that back off. Yes, it was the next step I had planned. Instead, something dramatic has happened with the game. Curved stations, friends. Curved stations. Yes, indeed. From the very first trailer of Transport Fever, the thing that a lot of people got very excited about, myself particularly, was the notion that stations could now be curved. So I've headed over here to Charlotte. We are deviating from the original plan because I'm going to get a curved station up in here as quickly as humanly possible. And that means I need to find a suitable location. There's a reason we're in Charlotte, and that reason is that I have a suitable location, and it is Atlanta. Now, if you look at the shape of the network we're building here, as you can see, we've got it's already indicating that we've got a circuit that's going to be happening here. What have we got here? Oh, my little shunter has turned up. Little French shunter. Oh, that's fun. Well, we're not using that today, but there you go. So, yes, we have a circuit around America that's already planned, and down here in Miami, we're going to need to get onto that circuit in some fashion or another. So, Atlanta, kind of its own volition, really, has started heading out towards Charlotte. The two cities have effectively merged. I'm not entirely sure where the city limits would be between the two. But what I want to do is I want to put in not one, but two stations for Atlanta. The first of which will be here, very close to Charlotte. The second will be just the other side of Atlanta to see if we can get the growth going the way that we want to. And I'm going to use curved stations in order to do so. I'm kind of giving away here that I've already experimented with it. So if we set this back to normal. So there's your normal 4-track station going on there. This is also, so it's available through the Steam Workshop if you follow the collection that I have already set up. I've added it to the collection for this series. So you'll pick this up straight away. And existing mainline stations will be able to take a curved upgrade if you wish to add one. But you have the choice of 3 stages of curvature. If we go like that, so that's stage 2. Stage 3 is, it's pretty bendy stuff. Now, I mean, this is, it's purely an aesthetic deal going on here, but it is quite a good one nonetheless. Now, what I want is to get this set up. Now, I mean, obviously it rotates as per usual. Let's get this one just a little gentle curve to kind of ease the good folk of the city into the idea that we're going to be curving up in this fashion. And then I want to add a second one a little further along, and that will be round here. I'm also going to build this out with a road kind of following it. It's almost a disappointment that that this particular map, the city placement on it, it doesn't really require a particularly curvy station, but it's enough for us to get a feel for what's going on, and so it should be quite good fun. Now to kind of explain the overall plan we've got going on here, if we pull around there, I want to get rid of that bit of road ideally. Let's go as far as that. We're going to have to put a spur on this road about there in order to get rid of this bit. Yeah, see? Yeah, no flies on me. I know what I'm doing. And then we continue round. and we shall four-track it all the way around here because it's going to look brilliant. Now, the inside, I suspect, so the inside lanes, tracks, will form the overall route that goes around the continental North America, while the outer will split off to other destinations. So that's going to be my hook up to Miami and to Port Nelson as we continue this route. So if you look at Miami from here, what we'll end up doing is well, actually, what we'll end up doing is we'll probably end up, and when I say end up, I mean, you know, we'll do it from the get-go. I just want you to will you just be cool? You know, will you just do it once, please? There we go. We'll do it like that. And we'll do it this way instead. There we go. Because if you're anything like me, then you too are a sucker for, you know, multiple tracks running in parallel rather than just two. And while it will be goods eventually that lead to this being extended significantly to be multi-track, what? Yeah. I know. I'm going to. All right, just not yet. Patience. You know, even getting passenger routes running in this kind of short form fashion is going to be pretty cool. I'm debating whether or not to electrify half of these tracks in order to Metroliner it. But frankly, in other series that I've run, both in Transport Fever and Train Fever, I have had such a heavy reliance on the Metroliner, or I've used it so frequently that I might try and see about getting by without it this time around. Not that I've got anything but love for the dear old Metroliner. It certainly makes cash like there's no tomorrow, but a bit of variety, I think, is a joy to behold. Right, there we go. So we've got our route kind of fully linked here, and it's allowed it to make this rather pleasant bow shape going all the way around. And if we have a look at this track, kind of from ground level, you know, there's a nice gentle curve coming around here that all being well will look rather splendid once we've got you know, trains. So yeah, that's kind of the piece of the puzzle that we need to fit into this at some point. Right, let's link you up, shall we? First off, I actually want to do something ceremonial here. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Ceremonial, of course, entirely the wrong word for this situation, but you know, it felt like a good word, so I went with it. We're gonna pop a bridge over this. Yep, like that. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And for reasons best known to nobody in particular, I'm a big fan of the iron girder bridge. Although I guess it's steel, isn't it? Well, whichever it is, iron, not known for its particularly rigid properties. That's what I'm a fan of these days. If we bash through there, you're gonna charge me the earth to do so, aren't you? Yeah, okay. Well, we'll let the AI figure out if it wants to do that. Otherwise, no, look, I don't want to bulldoze anything unless I have to. No matter what some may say, bulldozing is not the first resort, it's the second. Do we want to do that? No, that's pretty horrible. Also, you want to think about getting onto that bit of road. I think we're going to have to bulldoze that one. Do you want to play? Yeah, you're gonna cooperate? I don't want to bulldoze all three. That's excessive. There must be a snap point I can use here. Maybe a smaller road. Yeah, that's more like it. Too much slope. Curses. What about like this? One building. One building is acceptable. We can handle that. Actually, we're going to do the one on the other side of the road as well. Sorry about that. Just, you know, get used to it. I'm sure your next house will be totally immune from any, you know, misbehavior of a bulldozing nature. Now, what would have been sensible for me to do here, which obviously I haven't done, would be to actually build the road out first, and then have the track kind of match along with it. Let's go to there and then see if we can't link it up. Stuff it. Yeah, all right, look, remove all the buildings you need to. Let's make this, let's set our infrastructure up. Yeah, see, after all that, I'm removing it again. Set all the infrastructure up for you know, a modicum of success, and then just hope that the game plays ball in getting this built. Come on, keep going. There we are. There we are, all the way along here, and then out to there, and then coming back in. Yeah, that's it. And then we'll carry on this way. Now, the odds of this end station here making me, you know, $1 is slim for a goodly amount of time. It's going to be a while before we see any cash coming out of this, but you know, it's not gonna stop me setting it up and giving it a try. Let's pop a bridge over there. Oh, come on! Surely it's not a collision. Surely. There you go. Something like that. Obviously, we'll keep the style the same. We'll run another road down there, except we'll do it the other way so that it stays straighter. Run you up onto that. This is good looking stuff here, though I say so myself. So yeah, okay. So where we're ending up right now is far more rapid development of this area of the map than I had originally envisaged. But I can't say that's a bad thing. Right, now you also need to connect to something, and I think, do we want to put another bridge so soon? I mean, what are we talking about in terms of crossings? We could do with a bridge here, although I very much doubt I'll get one over there. All right, my doubts unfounded. This is all good. This is really quite charming. Now, I mean, you know, all of this is for naught if Atlanta decides not to bother in, you know, expanding at all. But I think I'll probably end up running a sizable goods line down in this direction. In fact, this would probably be my choice for the city I would most like to see grow at this stage. It's got an up and coming kind of a vibe that I would like to see develop in a fruitful fashion. But we'll see how it goes. If we run that round there, can we get a merge off this bridge that looks all right? Answer: yes. Okay, and then let's run another bit of road down there. Now, the reason, if you needed explaining, the reason for always using this rather hefty bit of road is that the AI is not so keen on building these large roads itself. It always goes for kind of smaller roads. So if I don't plumb them in, we're not going to see them at all, and that would be a shame. And we could do something across here as well. I don't want to do level crossings unless I absolutely have to. It doesn't help your traffic flow particularly. Not that I'm bothered about traffic flow. Someone in a comment a couple of episodes ago suggested that there was a mod out there that allowed you to remove car traffic entirely. And while that would be nice in terms of making sure that people use trains rather than anything else, or rather your passenger services rather than anything else, I like the little AI cars causing bedlam on my streets. This feels good to me. Traffic jams I am a fan of, as I'm sure you're aware. I think we can probably remove that. There we are. Okay, so this I like the looks of it. And I hope you do too. Let's mash that over that way a bit. Give that something to connect to. It doesn't need to go anywhere yet. The game can figure out what it wants to do with that. Let's up this country road to be something a little bit more modern. And then, since we're in the area and I've got 11 million quid, let's talk, friends. Let's talk goods. Now, the existing goods setup we've got. I've not finished. Don't worry. The existing goods setup we've got in North America is up at Port Nelson. It's the oil and fuel distribution, which is, you know, it's going swimmingly. The ships all make good dollars when they drop off, and the trucks are constantly making profit. It's all going swimmingly. This will, of course, go further over time. But what I want eventually out of this is a gigantic goods hub. Not least of all because we also have food deliveries going on here. For those of you who wanted to see a 20 wagon big boy hauling across the US, it's coming. And it'll be set up around here. So, you know, just to show you or give you an idea of what that might look like, we'll probably end up with a couple of these, maybe one, maybe more than one, but you know, it's going to be relatively significant. It's just a case of routing that correctly. The ideal would be to pick up from the appropriate station, but I need to figure out exactly what the best setup there is. Anyway, that digression aside, we can then transport these goods. You know, we can hit Port Nelson, piece of cake, no problem. Hit Chicago by going down the spine here, then cut through and hit both Charlotte and Atlanta by ending up here. The downside to that is we never get to travel in parallel with the passenger services that we've got going on, which might be a bit of a letdown. But I mean, how desperate am I to get onto that? So, because the alternative would be to run the line kind of down here, and then catch onto the existing network just outside Toronto. Now, Toronto Airport is going to need redevelopment at some point, and it's going to use a lot of space. But we could catch the line, get through New York. I mean, that would require building a goods station somewhere. But, you know, New York with its international connections has got, you know, there's got to be good reason for doing that. We can't just go passengers only. We could put a goods station somewhere else and service it that way, but it feels a little bit bland. And frankly, running it along the coast would be pretty marvelous. But by which time you've added this curve onto what could be a straight shot down the middle. Okay, well, that's that decided then. Straight shot down the middle all the way. That's what we're going to do. And then the aim will be, we'll go all the way to Miami. So we'll do the kind of northern parts of Canada all the way down to Miami via Atlanta, and then distribute locally from Atlanta to Charlotte to kind of really grow this area out. Now, all I need to do is I need to put a good, because I'm doing this now, right? The reason I'm doing this now is, firstly, I've got a bit of cash in the bank. And that's not a bad thing. And secondly, because it's going to be insanely expensive to do it after Atlanta actually starts developing in a significant fashion. Right, 7 buildings will be removed. I want to cut through there. Now, this would probably be better with a bit of elevated track. We do have a hill of some description going on here. Let's bulldoze that. What if I were to just use that end bit of road? 2 million and change, and it can't align the terrain, and that is quite the lump that we're creating there. It'll look good though. It'll definitely look good. The alternative would be over here, because I want it to catch the existing industrial area as much as possible, and getting getting track to pop over the top of the station is going to prove to be difficult, to say the least. I don't know. Unless we do it now. Unless we build with that in mind from the get-go. Let's. How would I do this in a relatively cheap and cheerful kind of a fashion? Let's. Yeah, let's just actually, I want to get this bit of road in first. Yeah, I know. I'm changing my direction once again. Let's have a look. Do a bit of that. Do a bit of that. Do a bit of that. And then why have you pulled a weird angle on me? There we go. That's well, it's still quite a weird angle, but it's a less weird angle overall. Or we chance it, right? And we put a station on this end, which is going to be easier to an extent. You've still got goods catchment, but we do have to get over the station. What do you mean? That's not different. That's exactly the same thing. And the way to go about doing this, what about an elevated goods station? All right. Well, what's that going to look like? Well, firstly, we do this. Keep going. There we are. Do it like that. All right. Okay. Now this is going to be an expensive experiment, I suspect. Although we could just ride over the top here. Ooh, that's jolly tempting, isn't it? Where's Miami gone? It's down there. So we'd actually want to go over here. We've got some bridge pillar collision. There'll be a route here somewhere. Now, I mean, I could do this in multiple parts. But what I'm trying to ascertain is whether this will work even slightly. Now that looks pretty good, because then what I do is if we built this 650 grand strip of track here, we want to make it so that it's relatively quick. That would be slower. Modern viaduct from Hamburg. Well, we're not in Hamburg. Yeah, box girders for the win, or we go with this kind of trestle girder. I like that. That's a bit more something. Right. So look, I mean, what I'd end up doing is spending £1 million. You know what? I'm going to spend £1 million, right? Because we can get that over the station from here, like that. And then I'll create a spur off so we can knock out some of the track, and have a go at making the station line up with the rail we've got here. Now, I'm not going to build the entire spinal route right now, but what I want to do is get this in place so that I don't have to spend an absolute fortune in doing it later. Right? You can see the logic in that. You're all my people. You get the game plan here. Where are we? Let's try a bit of this for an episode that is supposedly about curved stations. I haven't half taken a detour into doing something more dramatic. My apologies. I'll be back on topic any second. Right, let's try this speculatively and see what we get. So if I put a tiny little branch off there, right, it should allow me to just bulldoze this bit. Right, get rid of that. Now, that means we've got this bit of elevated track. Now, will it, if I invite it to, will it connect? It will, but it's giving me the terrain alignment collision there. What are you colliding with? You're actually colliding with the track itself and the pillars thereof. Now, what I'd like to be able to see here is, are you now on a similar elevation? Because I could put it in there, and I will pay for it now. If it will connect, unable to align terrain. What's causing you trouble, friend? you know, usually you're not backward in coming forward in just, you know, kind of just bulldozing the entire lot. That would be what I'd like, please. Where can you align the terrain? Because right now, this is looking like trucks are required, and that's not what I had in mind. Okay, so maybe we remove a bit more of this. See if we can't get it down the hill. Yeah, okay. It's because the station, it won't build on it won't self-elevate. I mean, I could make it shorter and it would probably do the job, but that means we're going to have a slightly unrealistic looking unloading scenario. Why are you unable to align? Have I left a bit of remnant up here somewhere? No. It's not even highlighting where it's having problems particularly. What can't you align? You find up there. Is it just because it's too tall? Can't roll that out. Well, as we come this way, we have a similar problem. Okay, I might have to abandon that rather expensive piece of track that I built there and go for a different route. I mean, if I could get in there, that'd be terrific. That would be terrific. Let's kill that for a moment and see if it feels any better about life. Look, I'm happy to remove buildings. All I need you to do is connect into town where you've got a good solid connection with existing industrial. I mean, I could play with the smoothing tool here. It's been a while. I'm reluctant to do so, but let's just gently ease this down a smidge. All right, that's kind of a bit more than a smidge, really. It's proved to be quite expensive. Right, let's try it now and see what we get. Oh, hello, first time. Now you're talking. What about 400 meter? Will you do the full length? Will you do the full length? No, you won't. But I have a smoothing tool and I know how to use it. What else are you colliding with there? A bit of road. Hold on. That looked like a sail. Looked like a. It isn't. It is. It's not. It's. Construction's just not possible. Okay, fine. I'm happy to delete stuff, and those commercial buildings are going to bite the dust. But that's where I want it, right flipping there. Why have you changed angle? That's not part of the plan. Oh, come on, look here, this. I'm sure this is making for absolutely stellar video entertainment, friends. Apologies I'm taking so long over this. But just a bit more smoothing, maybe. Just a little bit more smootherino, which possibly I've done too much there. And I bet the 300 meter one is no longer willing to play ball. But hey, you play for keeps or you don't play at all. That's what they say. Right, let's get rid of this bit of road. Maybe that's interfering with my amazing scheme. Where's your problem? Let's get rid of that bit of road. You're toast no matter how you cut it, friend. I'm afraid you're gone. There we are. That's it. Right, now I want to go just a little bit like that. You know what I could do with this to kind of keep it on. Oh, it's not going to let me bend it. I was going to do a bendy track here, a bendy station here as well. Going to need to go a little bit further that way. Probably to there. Right, now I'm going to move it a little bit further away from that connecting road. There we are. I've committed. That's it. You know, we've made the decision. The decision's been taken. That's happened. For a moment there, I thought it was going to try and give me some rubbish about, you know, curves and collision and nonsense. But no, we seem to have made it. Okay, good. Right, so we've got that built. A lot of tidying up needs doing there. Thank you very much, 1 million quids test track. Much obliged to you. Now, all I need you to do, Sunshine, is just get over here. All right? Just get over there. Too much slope. Construction's not possible. Okay. All right, let's try that again. That was a very belligerent effort on my part. Right, let's hold that. Give it this. Now, the problem we've got here is it's not high enough to warrant an actual bridge. There we go. So we're going to have to take it up a little. Don't get carried away assuming you know what I want. I don't want to go that high, do I? I'm going to need some height in order to clear the railway that we've got going on. Now I can remove this bit of road if need be. We'll be back on the main thrust of our story shortly. Let's get rid of that. I may regret it. Because I'm going to want to get a road under there, but I've got plenty of space to do so. Now let's see. Actually, before we do that, get rid of that again. Let's see what we can get away with here. Right. So where are we going here? So we're curving in the wrong direction. Where we want to be is we want to be over there. Like that. Yeah, exactly like that. Now, give me something like this. Is it going to let me double track it? In the past, it probably wouldn't, but you never know. And there we go. That's proof right there. Okay, now get over there. Stay on the flat through this. Well, it's possibly a little taller than I'd have wanted, but you know what? It's doing what I wanted, and that's a solid gold result. Perfect. Okay, cool. Right, that's that in place, ready to go when the time comes up. I've now blown 6 million of my original 11 million budget. We'll pull it back. We made it once, we'll make it again. It might just mean that I've got to go and talk to the bank again. It's going to have to be a small street under this one, isn't it? Can you medium? No, you're not interested in mediuming. What about that one? All right, let's use that one. Okay, right. Well, that's woeful. How about upgrade it to this one? No. Just this bit here. Just this section. Just that bit. Right. I'm going to need a better route than that. So we'll also, hold on, get me back to regular buildage. So we'll also run this way a smidge, and then we'll right angle over there. Okay, that's good. Right, now that should pay off in the fullness of time over the lifetime of the universe. That should end up making bucks. We'll see. It does, however, kind of force my hand in terms of getting that happening quickly. Right, and then do you fancy getting with the program? Do you? A bit more like that. No, that's not a proper junction. Neither's that. Keep going. Okay, now the question I have for myself here is, what do I want to do? Are we going to just connect this up to the main line? And this is temporary track, just so I can stick a depot at the end of it. Just do it like this. All right. It's not too much curvature at all. It's the exact right amount of curvature. And then merge these two. Oh wow, you've not half made a meal of it. I mean, it's quite an appealing looking bit of track, but you've made a meal of it. There are easier ways you could have done this. All right, I think we're going to make this self-contained. So we're already delivering as far as Charlotte. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try and expand Charlotte through the kind of the suburban setup that we've got here. So we've got, you know, Atlanta 1, Atlanta, Charlotte border, and then Charlotte itself. Is that right? Yeah, that'll work. Going to need some points. Now later on, we'll do this in a better fashion, but for now, we'll do it in a poor fashion. Yep, this is all good. And now obviously we're going to need a similar kind of an idea at the other end. At the far end, there we go. Yep, right here. There we go. That should do it, right? Should that do it? Please hold. Needs to just consider my right. So you're coming up here. You head out onto, well, I guess the other side, and then you boost it back down this side and wallop, and then we get down here. Okay. At which point you end up on the right hand side. Okay, good, fine. Yeah, just like that. That'll do. Thank you. Right, magic. Now, before I burn through every shred of cash I've got, I'm going to signal up some. Now, of course, I mean, the eventual goal here will be that we'll head out as far as New York, if not further. I'm thinking on the grand. So you've got that right. Okay. I'm thinking on the grand circuit that we're pulling here that we have one service that stops everywhere, and you know, and I want to add in more kind of metro type services, so more local services. There we go. That's a better way to describe it. But that's going to be contingent on how the population grows, how the map grows. So, you know, watch this space, basically. Okay, right. Look, we're there. Let's put a line in so you can get a feel for the idea here. 1, 2, 3. It's a short little route. It's nice. It's not doing anything that I want there. Okay, right. So we're going to have to, after Atlanta sidings, which is going to need a better name, we will go there. That's it. See how easily you learn. Now, to the outside of the track, which is probably why I opted for the inside of the track to start with, because that would have been closer. Anyway, up to Charlotte, back to Atlanta. Atlanta. Okay, so it's a short route. So I mean, this would be perfect for a Metroliner, given the number of stops involved. Actually, the Metroliner hasn't even been released yet. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So this is going to be the ATL local for the time being. Now, so we've got to figure out a train consist that makes sense on here. Let's have a look. Right, locomotives. Right, I need something small, nimble, kind of exciting. 65 mile per hour. Yeah, it's more of a. This is more of a goods train. Not really suited to this job. I don't know what that's for, but that's a hideous looking beast. I mean, I'd use the New Haven. Its running costs are respectable. Its initial price is respectable. It's a little more than I expect to pay to get this set up. What else have we got? Have we got anything else kind of tiddly? What about these most... okay, Red Arrow. Where's that? Switzerland. Can't use that then. Skunks. Yeah, I think it's got to be. I think we start... Capacity 110 miles. They're fast. Yes, that's what we'll go with. And we're going to colour it orange. All right. Okay. 5.08. We can buy one. And have done. Let's set that on the wherever I am, Atlanta, Charlotte local. All right, so we'll start with this, and then we'll go from there. I might borrow enough to get another train or two on here, but let's have a look. Now, the Zephyr, which is what we've opted for here, ridiculously shiny train. It is a little beyond its lifetime, but it is pretty quick. And if it can make a go of this route, and if we look at I mean, we're making $4 a kilometre, so it's got a real chance of paying off here. It's going through the Bendy Station, folks. Look at it. Look, Bendy Station. La Station Curved. Amazing. Right, there we go. We're off. Now, I'm going to need to ease it down a little bit. Don't be quite so impatient. This is a moment for celebration and you know, and reverie. And going, you know, look at what we did with our impressiveness. Although, you know, I'm more excited now about running, you know, something gargantuan over that flipping bridge. Now, if we get passenger 1 on here, I'll be a little surprised. Maybe Atlanta... yeah, what would we call this? I don't like Central. Well, it is. So it's going to be Grand Central if it will fit textually. And then this one we will just call Atlanta, because it sure as hell ain't the sidings. And what I should do actually is with the American, the North American route is, yeah, I should run all the way down to Atlanta, shouldn't I? Really? What do we got? We've got the the Chateau Express doesn't exist anymore. Let's kill that. Doesn't exist, mate. You're going to need to find a different service. There we go. We're rolling. Beautiful. Now, I want to... Okay, I'm going to adjust the North American line main here. We're going to add onto this a stop at Atlanta, the primary Atlanta. The distant Atlanta. That way we still have some relevance for the stopping service. I'm wary of doing this because I could end up cannibalizing one with the other. But this is largely because I want to see an Alco scale train stop at a Bendy station. Right? That's the purely selfish reason that I'm going to do this, and hopefully you will approve of such indulgence. Have you got that right? You have got that right. Okay. Because they look nice that way, I'm going to mirror the signals. What I'd quite like, actually, is gantry signals. Gantry signals are something that the game's never had. And I, for one, would be very much in favour of a talented young modding team adding them into the game. So if you're a talented modding team, young or otherwise, then I invite you to add gantry signals. Right, let's go to Atlanta and then back to Charlotte, and then everything should be good. Let's just check that the route makes sense. And indeed it does. Okay, right, so now we're going to wait for... Hey, look at this. Hey, Grand Central has got a passenger waiting. Now, I need to add commuter services onto here so that it can actually connect up with where people live. Either that or wait in the dark of not great profitability until what exactly? Until houses are built up in that area. And then maybe we'll get something going. So what we're waiting for here is our next service. Here we are. Let's follow it. Now, this will also have the knock-on effect of making Atlanta all the more desirable. Yes, very desirable. And as such, it should yield it should yield more growth down there. And certainly I've seen that happening in Zurich already, which will have a quick... Don't drive through the tram. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in Zurich, and in terms of just buildings being grown through having a train service come through. Here we go. What we're looking for here is the killer screenshot. This looks promising. This looks very promising. There you go. Curved stations, folks. They may add very little in terms of functionality, but they are jolly pretty. Right, let's whiz along a bit further here, and then pick it up, coming underneath the future industrial power hub. See, another good shot. What's not to like? The other thing, of course, is that you would be. It is quicker. The other service is quicker. The full North American route, it doesn't ever get up a huge amount of speed. You're going to drop anyone here? I doubt it. And yeah, nobody's interested. I'm going to need to set up commuting services here. Anyway, that will wrap it up for today. Maybe the Zephyr will drop one off. You never know. But you know, this was just a very, very swift little showcase of the curved station. Works with passengers, doesn't work with goods. I think we can get over that. Would be nice to have. Hey, you dropped someone off. Jolly good. Well, you dropped a cluster of people. Now, let's see. What I want to see here is cranes. I want cranes here, folks. Come on, build it. Otherwise, you're going to lose me a lot of money. Let's zip back over the Atlantic and have a quick look. Look at all of this stuff that I need to move. What am I having a quick look at? Zurich. Here, we're just talking about it. There we go. How are we getting on? So the population has already grown a fair bit, actually. It's doing quite nicely. If we look at the towns, I'm trying to leave the episode here. I'm trying to suggest that I'm done. But if we have a look, Zurich is probably... It's up a little. Yeah, very good. Okay, well, you know, progress. And all of that business. Let's go back to a curb station so I can do all of my unnecessary run-out business. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. Please do leave a like on this episode if you enjoyed it. It helps other people find it too, and gets me another couple of views, and I like that. If you've not subscribed already, consider doing so. I post these on a regular basis. And if you are a subscriber, try pushing the notification bell thing. I've heard it does mystical things for your virility. Thanks again for watching. Catch you very soon. Cheerio.